Oh, anyway. I managed to get here before 8. So. Boy. Hopefully enough people pop in. Yay! Hi, Elizabeth. I'm glad you're here because something I did today, I had you completely in mind. You'll see when I show it. So, but yeah, it was definitely, I have Elizabeth in mind in this one. So, do that. Is my mic working? It doesn't sound like old tinny, right? Testing the mic. I'm just waiting for Sarah to tell me that the mic is good. Boy. So, yeah, no, it's cool. Okay, cool. It's funny because, so I went to the dollar store today. Let me move this because I changed the setup. I got a better table. So that way it doesn't like block my whole face. Okay. So I went to the dollar store today, and because the whole point of most of this video is to, you know, be able to go and not have to spend, you know, low ball $20 for a yarn bowl all the way up and stuff. I think I've seen them for like $90 to $100 for a yarn bowl, you know. And while I wouldn't say I'm cheap, because I'm not cheap. Like if I really want something, I will spend the money. But if I don't have to, or I deem something to be reused worthy, then I will. So hold on, this light is bothering me, and I know why it's bothering me. There we go. Still too bright. There we go. I had the wrong color on. I don't like that white light. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, and then I'll start. You know, because I've got lots of goodies to show. So yeah, I was at the dollar store today. My son came home from school, and I was like, come on, we're going to the dollar store. So I made him try to limit my spending, because I wanted to show you like different, like a whole bunch of different ways to do it, you know, stuff that, you know, you could just do right off the bat, no big deal, spend $1 or $2, don't have to do any more, to if you wanted to get a little bit more creative, that you could. So hopefully other people will pop on. So how's everybody doing? Yeah, I love our dollar store. It's so terrible. It's like you go in there and it's like, oh, it's only $1. It's only $1. It's only $1. And then like $70 later, you're like, what the hell did I buy? So I love going in there because like there's the stuff they have all the time, and then there's like the things that pop in and out. So but I think I found some, definitely some fun stuff for, like I said, for people to do or not do. It all depends on their choice at that point. So, but I also considered like larger, you know, balls, you know, because sometimes it's like you're not using a very small bowl, you know, like if you're using Bernat yarn or like a Karen cake. Hi, Kia. How you doing? Hi, Sandy. So I think Samantha popped in. I think I missed her, but hopefully if she is on. Hi. So, anyway, now I know there's people that are out of the country, so I don't know if you have like a dollar store or whatever, you know, something that's like you're very like the store's all one price, or you know, like something that's everything is like low price, like an under $5 store, you know, because I know definitely if I went to like Five and Below I can find some other stuff, but I don't have one close to me. I'd have to drive. So, but I figured the dollar store is, you know, is easier for people, you know, and besides, if you spend, think about it this way, if you spend even $20 on a bowl for your yarn so it looks cute, that's $20 you could have spent on yarn. I don't know about you, but I would rather buy more yarn. So, yeah, my dollar store never has yarn either. It's like, I've seen it in like one store, but that was like, again, up in New York, which is like an hour away from me. And it was like, they only had the sachet stuff that, you know, that stuff that you pull and then people make like the skirts with, that like, that ribbon kind of yarn. I don't like it too much. So I was like, oh, well, I guess they get it, but I did at one point when people first started noticing that it was at the dollar store, that I was able to order some online and have it shipped. So, which is a funny story to that, was my order got lost. So, yeah, absolutely. I'd rather spend the money on other stuff, especially because, again, looms are more expensive, you know. They're probably the most expensive item other than like a weaving loom, you know, or a spindle, you know what I mean? If you're going to spin your own yarn, you're going to pay a lot of money to get a good spinning wheel. But I'd rather spend the money on yarn and other stuff, so definitely, you know. But I guess the whole point of this was that you can not have to spend a lot of money if you don't want to or you don't have it. So yeah, the buy online and pick up in store. So here's my story. So I had ordered all, I forget what the yarn was that like everybody was like freaking out about, but they had it online. I ordered it. I ordered a whole bunch of it, and I was waiting for it to come. So I got the confirmation that it was being sent to my store. One item came to my house, but you have to pay to have it sent to the house. So, so the thing was supposed to come to the store, so I know the store manager, and I'm like, okay, hey, you know, is it there? And he's like, oh, I get my trucks on this day, call me on this day. So I called him on that day. He's like, it's not here. He's like, so it'll definitely be next week then, because I showed him the email. Next week comes and goes, it doesn't come. So he contacts customer service. Customer service is like, yeah, I guess it got lost on one of our trucks, so we're going to have to refund your money because we don't have them anymore. And I'm mad. Like, I'm like seriously upset. You know, granted it was only $25, so, but that was 25 skeins of yarn. And they're like, yeah, we're really sorry. You know, it's just, there's nothing we can do about it. And I'm like, fine, whatever. So another week goes by and I just happen to be in the store and I'm telling the other associate, I'm like, yeah, you know, I came in and the box wasn't here. And she's like, oh, it's here. I have it for you. Oh, okay. She goes, here you go. And she hands me and said, I don't have to do anything. And she goes, nope, everything's fine. You're good. Bye. So they had refunded my money. Because when you pay for it and you just pick it up in the store. And, you know, I had the order confirmation and everything. So she just gave me the box. So I got the entire box for free. So that's my dollar store story about that. But, let me just lower this a little bit. I guess I can take it lower. So, I know what I'm going to do. Hold on a second. 1 second. Let me move this just a little bit. Because it makes me look like I have, like, no eyebrows. Okay, there we go. So, sorry. So anyway, so I went to the dollar store today, and I found a whole bunch of stuff that could be used or slightly converted into a bowl. So, I'm gonna show you like the basic stuff that like you don't have to do anything with, kind of, and then I'll move up from there. So, oh my goodness, I tried to set myself up here. So the first thing I did was I went over by where the baskets are. So, and they have these small ones and then they have like the bigger ones, which are more like a trash can. So, you know, I can get my pinky through here, which is definitely a size 5 bulky. You know what I'm saying? So, I have some yarn over here. There's another one here somewhere. All right. So this is more of a ball. So I guess we'll like use that one. So, you know, you can just take it and slide it through here, and there you go, and bounce around. You know, and this one could work for like a really big cake too. Do I have one handy? Hold on. You know what? My cakes are actually right behind the camera, so let me grab one so that I can show you that it like kind of fits. grab a big one. So yep. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, so, you know, you can center pull and it sits right there and it's nice and in your bowl. You could even thread it through, you know, just to keep tension. Because that's part of why people use the bowls, is like it helps keep that tension. It's the same thing if like you see the Addy, it's got that piece, so it keeps the tension. So, does it catch? No, not on this, because this has like a coating on it, like a powder coating. So if you, that was one of the things that I was testing for, because again, there's some stuff that I like altered. So I'm gonna pull this hard. So, and it's not snagging at all. So, you know, I mean, I would definitely like run your finger through it and feel, just in case. I mean, it is a dollar store item, so you know, you don't, you know, it's not gonna be, you know, perfect, and it's not for that purpose. But so that's a basic thing. Again, you don't have to do anything to this at all, you know, and just, you're good. So that was that one. So then the other thing I saw was this baby. So it's kind of like one of those little trays or like little boxes, you know, because they do have the boxes that you open up with the thing. But I like the fact that these had these little grommet holes, because again, no snag, you know, little grommet hole. And you could run your yarn through the grommet hole just like that, you know, and no problem. Then the other thing I was thinking was that you could put in like a piece of cardboard, you know, or something to like make a divider, you know what I'm saying? So like if you took 2 pieces of cardboard and you splayed them a little, you could put like one ball on this side and one ball on that side and then pull from both sides. Or if they're cakes, then you can sit them both through and whatever. But this one would be good if like you're trying to do like some color working, especially like beginner color working. So you have the 2 holes, one coming out that side, one coming out that side. So I think that would work really nice. Let me see, what else? So, and again, you know, so you could fit 2 cakes in there if you know what I mean? Especially if you're center pulling, then you don't have to worry about it bouncing around, because it's not going to. So, so there was that. So that's that one. Then there was, where were you? Here they are, these little baskets here. So, there was this big one. Now again, they have smaller ones. I just bought the bigger one because again, a lot of the other stuff I have is small, so I was trying to get like a good gauge of stuff. So this has like a ton of holes. This is like Swiss cheesy. So, hi Deborah. This one, I mean, it feels a little, like if you're gonna keep pulling through here, you might want to like maybe lay a piece of tape on here, or you can get like a rubber grommet or something. Like you could like I said, I mean, it's not that bad. I'm gonna run a piece of yarn through it and see how much it bothers it. And I'm gonna rub on it purposely. So this yarn is kind of shitty anyway, so try not to see, because like if I pull it, it's let me show the pink one, because the pink one is cleaner. So that's like a scrap yarn I use for like when I have to tie stuff or like kids stuff or whatever. So let's rub this a little. So, I mean, it's a little, you know, again, but that's me rubbing on it. So like if I put it through a big hole here and, you know, I'm gently pulling and gently pulling and gently pulling, you know, I was rubbing almost the same spot. So this doesn't seem like it would be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm actually pulling it hard now because it's stuck in there. So, and again, this would be something that you could do where, again, you could take like a piece of cardboard and section this off even into 4 sections. So, you know, you basically would take one piece and another piece and kind of like make something that would look like this if you laid it down. And this could hold 4 different ones. So, you know, and again, it's $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not expecting like the greatest thing in the world for $1. But, you know, if you had some color working, you know, again, you're not, you know, sometimes when you first start out, some people are like, all right, hey, I just spent money on some yarn and some whatever, and that's it. I don't have anything else. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm all about finding what's laying around your house, but again, for $1, you know, nice storage. This one, again, you could, I brought my project bag down here purposely too. So, Yeah. That's what I was gonna say, is that you can take it out and keep your loom in it. So it could be like a whole thing. So again, you know. And like if I'm using only one ball, I don't use like the grommet holes or anything like that. So, because I have a bowl that was made for me that has like the little divot in it and whatever, and I don't ever use it. So, but don't mind me, this was in my project bag, so it's like a little stuck. So yeah, like you can put everything in here. You can put your project in there. You can put your stuff in there. You know, again, if you're just gonna pull it out of the top, you could probably put a piece of fabric in there if you want to give it a little more, some more cushion and stuff like that. Things like that. So hold on, I want to see what Oliver said. So I know you said you tried. I think it had. Would have been much better. Yeah, but like my husband had done it for a bag that I had when I first started, and I was trying to do something. Basically, if you take a piece of cardboard and you make like a tiny slit, so it's like this is the piece of cardboard. My hand is the piece of cardboard. I should just go get cardboard, but whatever. And you make a little slit here, and you take another piece of cardboard and you make the same slit, and then you take them and you go like that. You made the dividers, because if you do the balls and you're still, even though you're using the holes, the balls are bouncing around like crazy. So, kind of like, you know what? Do I? Oh, wait, I do. Look at this. Ingenuity here. So, I don't have a scissor, so I'm just going to rip it a little bit. This one's a little tighter. Another piece in here. Right. Just for argument's sake, we're just going to give you an idea of what I mean. So, like, you take these two pieces and you run them together. Something like that. And then, you know, your Amazon package comes and you stick this in there. Now keep in mind, this is not, like if I was going to do this, I would use bigger pieces. I'm just trying to make something to make my point. You know what I mean? Like, so you would use bigger pieces and basically create 4 different dividers in here. So, you know what I mean? So, I know that looks like crap, but I'm trying to just show something really quick. What else did I get? I got, now again, it's Valentine's Day, so they have them for Easter, they have them for all different holidays. I just thought these were really cute. These were 2, so there was 2 of these, so it's 2 for $1. So, and they're cute, and these things are like decorative. I don't know about you, but this house decorates for every holiday, and I mean every holiday. So, you know, and I wasn't sure if like this would fit in there, but it looks like it does. So again, if you're gonna center pull, then you should be fine. Nodding in my head, yes, that will work. So, again, let me use mine. So this is the Karen cake balled up, the big Karen cake. So this one really doesn't fit in here, but you know, not everybody uses such a big piece. So this probably wouldn't work for like a Bernat yarn unless you're using like one of the little small guys and you run it. But this would use definitely for like if you're making a sock, you know, because that yarn is, you're not gonna have a huge ball if you're making like especially like you know, shoe socks. You know, if you're making house socks, then you might be using a Bernat yarn or whatever. But again, there was 2 of these for $1. You know, and then it's like, all right, hey, you could use them for Valentine's Day, and you know, whatever. You got kids, it's like, here's your Easter baskets. And then you know what they do with the Easter baskets, like eat all the candy and then you throw the basket away and, you know, make garbage. So that would work for that. One of the other things that I found, and again, now this could go either way. So I found this because it was deep. I know it's hard to see with the light, but I'll try to move it where the light doesn't get it so much. So this I liked for the fact that it was deep. So again, here's the ball. You know, you can kind of run it, you know, it's all smooth on the top. So, and then I thought this. Now I don't have an arm, like a chair with an arm, but I was wondering if it wasn't so heavy, No, it doesn't really work out, but I was trying. I was thinking. So the other thing I have might work. But anyway, I thought this, or if you wanted to, and I did it with some of the other stuff, if you wanted like a hole where you didn't want it bouncing around or whatever, you could put a hole. So the other thing too is like, I was thinking like, you worried about it bouncing out, like if it like, and I don't see anybody pulling it like I'm crazy maniac, because you really have to pull really hard for it to bounce around like that. But you could always put some hot glue inside so it gets something to grip. So, but again, $1, you know, you use it as a yarn bowl. Shit, I need a mixing bowl. Pull the yarn out, make some cake, and then be like, all right, put it back. So, and again, this is big enough that like if you're doing like a small project, you could put all of your stuff in there. You could put your loom in there, you know, again, if you're doing like a little baby sock or a baby hat or something like that, you know, and then it's, you know, nice and portable. So, I didn't do anything with this, but again, you could do something with it, and I'll show you some of the other stuff that I got a chance to do stuff with. I had a very rough couple of days. I'm on like 2 hours of sleep. So if I'm going too fast, please say, Nikki, slow down. Can't understand what you're saying. So I'm running really on 2 hours sleep. So, but you could decorate this. You know what I'm saying? You could put paint on it. You could Mod Podge it with some paper, which I did with a different bowl. But you could do whatever you want with it. Stickers, you know, like let your kids have some stickers and be like, here, decorate, you know, mommy or daddy's bowl and go to town, you know, whatever you want. So that way, again, like my sister's like the person, like my sister's little Miss Pretty, and she'll admit it. She's not like ashamed to say it. She likes pretty things. So she'll spend more money for a prettier item where she could have just used something that's functional, but she wants it to look pretty. So, and I got that, you know, I have, there are some things that they want them to look pretty, or they're going to be out on display, or they're going to be somewhere, you know, or just, you know, it's interesting and you feel better about it. It's like, oh, my yarn bowl is so pretty, you know. So, the other thing was, and these are great, and they definitely have everything I've showed except for the heart buckets that are an all-around item. They have them all the time. So, I just thought the heart buckets were really cute, and I was like, all right, I'm going to throw them in the basket. Because they had like Easter ones with old pastel colors. I was like, all right, let me just get the Valentine's Day ones and stop there. So I saw both of these. So these were they're just plastic, you know, pots. You know, I'm sure some people have them lying around, you know. It's like, oh, you bought a bunch because, you know, they were cheap or they were on off season or whatever. Because even if you buy them like when, you know, if you go to Lowe's or whatever, you can probably get these for like 25 cents, but whatever. So this one was pretty. I like the color. It's nice and teal, and it's got like let me see if I can get it. There we go. See how it's got like it's kind of got a design, so it's more pretty on its own anyway. Like it doesn't really need anything. So there's two things you could do with this one. So I bought these, and I bought these. So I'm going to show both. So, and again, it's just a matter of what, like, you know, one is prettier than the other in a sense. So there's good old-fashioned binder clips, which are the best. So you take my clip and just put it there, and you can run your yarn through the binder clip. So, you know, you could use both of them, you know, get more tension. You could use one of them. Total choice on that point. So again, just basic binder clip. Then they had these up at the register, which again, you know, some color, it's a little cuter, you know, stuff like that. So same principle, you can run your yarn through here. The binder clip is a tad bit more secure, just so you know, just because there's a lot more movement in this piece because it's wider here. So if this bowl was wider, then it wouldn't be such an issue, but because it's not. And then last but not least is I have a Dremel. So what I did was, I don't know if you can see that, I drilled a hole in the center. So I figured I'd just go easy right now. I drilled a hole, I sanded it out to make sure that my yarn doesn't stick. You know, always definitely run a test piece of yarn through it and stuff like that. But what you could also do is again, if you have a Dremel or a tool or whatever you want to use, because this plastic isn't that hard. But if you have like even a drill, if you have like a drill or whatever, you can kind of just grind it up. You could make an opening at the top and kind of make that little oopie pattern or loopy pattern or Essie pattern or whatever it is, depending on the bowl. so that you can kind of take it on and out. The only thing with the hole, where it's a permanent hole, is that once you go through this, that's it. You can't take the project unless you take the bowl with you, which again, this is small, so it can go in a bag. But if it's, you know, if it's a big project or something like that, or a bigger bowl, you're not going to get that in a bag, and it's stuck in this. So that's the only thing that I don't like about like just the single permanent hole. Like, again, the binder clips, they come off. And with binder clips, unlike the blue clip, binder clips come off. So if you didn't know they did this, they do. All you have to do is give it a little tension, and they come right out. So they're also really good. Like, you can put them on like a desktop and like run your wires through them. So like at your computer station or whatever, and you put your phone cord or whatever, things you plug in and out. They work for that too. So that's really cool. So that's the blue one. Then I saw this one, and this was like, again, there's just little details, again, you know, that I saw. So this has this like little lip here. I don't know if it was for like you could water it down there, or if you were able to see the water. So because it has a drainage, I guess that was the point, that you can pour it in, and then you could see if the water's tipping up here, that you obviously don't need to put any more water in it. I'm not a plant person, so don't. So if somebody out there is like, of course she's a dummy, and it's like, I am, because I have a black thumb. You give me a plant, I will kill it. But anyway, I drilled a permanent hole down here, and I filed it out, so you know you could run it down and out, and it looks kind of cute with this little lip here. Again, the binder clip is always nice and simple. If you don't feel like you can handle a power tool, or yep, they're there. My little horror guys. No one's noticed Batman and Robin yet. They've been there for a while too, even in the original setup. But you know, you can put the binder clip here. You know, so like I said, you could use this clip. Like I said, this one doesn't work for the smaller one, but it'll work for something else that I do have. But these are cute because they're colorful. So like it's like a little bag. So, you know, even if you only need one, you can use these for bag clips. You know, if everybody's got potato chips or, you know, cookies or something, you know, running around. These are perfect for that. So it's like, all right, if you only need one, then now you have bag clips. Yay! So, yeah, they do kind of. And the penguin's hiding in the corner. He's like just off screen. So these are from the 1960s. So that's Burgess Meredith as the penguin. So, and Cesar Romero is the Joker, so those are old school. I think, I have Elvira up here. Pennywise fell down, he's up here. Pennywise the clown. And then, off screen is, the guy from Hellraiser. Since everybody, see? It's Pinhead from Hellraiser. I have the Doctor from Silence of the Lambs. He's too far out of my reach. And I have Carrie right here with her bloody hair and her bloody dress. So, so anyway, yep. So these are good binder clips. You can always use binder clips for things. You know, you can buy bigger ones too. Like I just bought the one that had the most clips in it, and I wanted little ones for like these little things, just to give you an idea of the difference. So, but they do have big binder clips that if you wanted to use those, or you couldn't find these. And like I said, this will matter in a minute. So, but yeah. So you could do that, binder clips, or you can drill a hole. Like I said, if you have a Dremel or something like that, you could create an entry point, a little, you don't even have to go crazy. You could just make like like a little J, so that it loops in and up, so that when you pull it, it's staying inside. It doesn't come back out. So, yeah. Look at an expensive bowl for reference. So I love the ones with the snot, with those ugly ones where that like you pull the yarn through the nose. It's so gross, but they're like cool in a weird way. But I won't pay for, like, they're like $60. I'm like, no way. So, so what else? Oh, okay. So since I said I was gonna explain the other clip, so listen, I have, like, some people collect purses, some people collect shoes, whatever. I collect glassware. Period. Now I just bought this at the dollar store because I saw it, and again, we're dollar store stuff. So, I have lots of stuff, and actually one of my yarn bowls is something I got at a thrift shop. So I think I paid like 50 cents for it. So cheaper, but this one has like some really nice etching and decoration and stuff like that. So it's like, again, a little bit prettier. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to sit there. You could probably reuse it as a candy bowl or, you know, for crackers. Like, so again, 2 purposes, which is nice. So now the binder clip will work on this one. So, and again, the binder clip is nice and secure. This does have a bevel. So I wasn't sure if the binder clip was going to slip off as much, you know. I mean, it'll come off if you give it a nice tug. But the good thing, like I said, about the binder clips is, again, it's not a permanent hold. So, and then, you know, for the thicker glass, I thought this would be a little bit, you know, nicer and stuff like that. So, like, you can, you know, just like a splash of color and stuff like that. So there's that one. What was the other thing? Oh, let me show you this. So, you know, and again, you know, if you're not like yanking it, it's not coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pulling all that out, you know, and I'm, you know, pulling it pretty well. So, right, everybody has a bowl, and I'm sure that like you even have a nice bowl that you use for something or whatever, and you could use it for now, and then if you need it, company comes over and it's like, okay, throw your shit somewhere else, and then, you know, take the bowl and then put it back, you know. So I've done that. Like, I just get bored and I'll use my, like, that's what I love about bowls and dishes, and that's why I collect them. Like, so like when we have dinner, I have like a very eclectic kind of bowl dish thing going, like different seasons, different colors. Like I have green, I have red, I have like golden and clear, so that I can mix and match. So, what else? So then I saw this thing. So I wasn't like, I was on the fence about it. I like walked away and then I came back. So I saw this and I figured, again, you know, you could put your yarn in here. This bowl, this is really big. So, but something else smaller would definitely fit in it. A cake wouldn't fit in it, but again, small project would fit in it. And then the cool thing that I thought about this one was that, now I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. You could kind of put your hook there. I mean, who loses their hook all the time? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you could just put your hook in the little hole here, and it's there. You know, do be careful because it does poke out the bottom. But, you know, I thought that was like a cute little additive, you know. And again, you know, this is purple, and I know plenty of people love purple. So, you know, I thought color-wise it was cute. And again, you could always decorate it. You can always add to it and do stickers. And, you know, if anybody's like, you know, a Cricut person and you want to cut and put stuff on it, like, this would be great with like an Yzma face on it. What else? Again, this, oh, okay. So there was this one. So, well, so that's so funny that you see that, Amanda. So I was walking around, so I saw the container first, and I was like, well, that would work for a really big one. And again, you could, you know, if you want to loop this through, you could loop it through, you know, or cut this piece out, and then, you know, it would just come out your little spout right here. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I thought like, all right, yeah, it's pink and clear, but then I was walking around and I saw that they had duct tape. So they had all different colors, but I figured I'd do like purple and silver. So literally this is just duct tape that I did kind of like on an angle. You know, I cut it up at the top so that the top is still the straight part. And, you know, this one I thought maybe would be a little bit better because the handle is a lot deeper. So like how that one sits there. So like maybe if you have like an arm on a chair, it might like sit on the chair and you could kind of pull it that way. So I thought that was a little nifty idea. And again, this one is pretty big. So, you know, again, that ball is really big. Trust me, it's really big. But, you know, like if you're doing like a Bernat, you know, blanket and stuff like that, it would probably fit in this thing. So, you know, just, again, just other things to think about and stuff that, like, you know, if you decide you don't like it or whatever the case may be, or like, again, this is a temporary solution until, you know, you save up your pennies and buy the snot bowl. You know, it's like, okay, now you can make iced tea or ice water or whatever the heck you want, you know, summertime, and this is the like the thing you bring outside that it, you know, oh, we left it outside, okay, toss it, it was $1. So there was that. Then there was these. And I usually have different sizes. I bought this the more smaller one. So, because again, I had some big stuff. And then all I did was drill a hole in the top, sanded it up, and things like that. Yeah, I thought the picture was a cute idea, especially like the handle. Like that was like what I was thinking with the white bowl, but this one is so much better. So the purple one would probably work too because it's a little deep and it would hold your hook. So, but you know, so there's this one. And again, you could tape it up. I mean, it does have the handles here, but I guess if you taped it all the way around, it wouldn't matter. So you could paint it, you could put stickers on it, you know, nice basic, you know. So, I mean, you don't have to use the lid, you don't have to use the hole, you could just put it in here and then, you know, maybe you just want to close it up to keep it, you know, safe from dust or whatever the case may be. You know, even if it's just like, you're not going to like close it, like you're going to spin it because the yarn is there, you know, you could do that. So then in the glassware, like in the really glassware section, they always have like dishes that have like, they had cream, they had black. Because spring is coming, they did have some like teal and other like colors and stuff like that. So I did pick out a couple of these. So, so this is just a regular glass bowl. It's probably like an ice cream bowl or like a cereal bowl. I think they're really cereal bowls. So, you know, a normal person, I don't know if you'd load this up with ice cream unless you're my husband. So my husband will eat like an entire half gallon of ice cream in one sitting. So I saw these and I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And I've seen so many things like where they do like Mod Podge and stuff like that, where you know, you can do paper and I've seen things where basically what you do is you put the stencil on the inside. So say like you wanted to do stars in the sky, you would put the stencil on the inside, you would paint technically on the outside and then layer your paint. So like if you wanted to do Gemini, you would put like the stars in gold and then put a little bit, like maybe a little bit of purple and then a little bit deeper purple and then go over everything with black. So that on the inside of the bowl, it's still the glass. There's no paint, there's no residue, there's no nothing, but you could see it. So with that in mind, and again, this is not 100% dry because I literally did it 20 minutes before and I did use a hairdryer. So hair dryers do speed it up. But this is the same bowl. And this is the one, Elizabeth, if you're around, this is the one that I did with you in mind. So I was walking around and they have like tissue paper. They have colors. They have, you know, I got white with like little rainbow glitter in it and stuff like that. But this one, what I did was they're like puppies, and there's like a couple of kitties hiding in there. So I don't know if you can see it really well. I hope you guys can, but see the inside, because it's all on the outside. All the glue and all the paper is actually on the outside. So, you know, all the little doggies, and you could do it, you know, depending on how you cut the paper. I just cut them in triangles. So, like some of them, you know, because you're going to have to overlay and things like that. Like if you look at the back, you can see more of the overlaying. So, but this is done with Mod Podge. And this is like, again, this is really easy if you've never done it before. Basically what you do is you take the bowl and you put Mod Podge on it first. Then you start putting a piece down and then you put some Mod Podge over it. And you keep layering it and you keep just gently putting Mod Podge. You're going to get little creases, you know, no big deal because you're just going to keep gluing it down and stuff like that. But, and then what you could do, again, this is fine like the way it is. If you want to just stop here, you can, because the Mod Podge does do a decent seal. But if you really, really want to, you could just take it and get some like spray enamel and just spray up this side just to give it like that extra. So, but, and like I said, you can use anything. Tissue paper works the best because it's nice and thin. The glue works through it, and you know, you could make the designs better. Like I said, I did this literally with 20 minutes and a hairdryer. So some of the dogs are overlaying each other and things like that, but not all of them. So I tried to get some of them. Like some of the cats keep repeating. So, you know, if I had like a little bit more time, I might have like cut the dogs out per se and the cats out per se, rather than just cutting willy-nilly, because it was like there were more cats and dogs in the pattern. So, but just so you get an idea, that was basically what I was trying to do here. So, and the great thing about this is like if you miss a spot, you can always go back and add a piece of paper. Like once you start drying it, like with the hairdryer, you can see like if the spot is thin or you literally just missed a spot, because the glue, a Mod Podge goes on white, but it dries clear. Rule of thumb with glue, if it's white, it's clear when it dries. If it's clear when it goes on, unless it says otherwise, it dries white. I know, so stupid, but that's how it goes. So white glue dries clear. So when you go get your Mod Podge, you know, get the white stuff. You know, you can get glossy stuff, but it's not necessary, because the glossy, you know, it's not going to really do very much for the bowl anyway. But neither here nor there. So then there was that. Then I think this is the last thing. And again, binder clips if you want. So, because that one's not going to work so well, but binder clip there, you know, just like this, basically. Like that. So, there you go. Upstairs. Upstairs. Upstairs.
I can have some gummies.
Yes, you can have some gummies. Take some gummies and go upstairs. Has to be a live stream. They have to pop in always. It's like they split. So.
Hello.
There he is. That's Declan. Last couple of times it's been Rory. So go upstairs. Daddy's upstairs.
Whoa! He's sick. I can't go by him.
Okay. Well, then go bother Anthony or Aunt Sarah.
I'll go by him. Let's go to
Okay. Go bother Aunt Sarah.
room.
Close the door. All right. So last thing was, again, they had, like I told you, they had clear bowls. They had all kinds of colors. So just imagine, cool, Paula. You'll have to watch most of the rerun, because I'm basically at the end of the dollar store yarn bowl things, but you can always watch the replay. I always put it back up. So anyway, so that's that. You can use any kind of tissue paper, you know, find cute tissue paper with stuff on it, you know, birthday stuff or cupcakes, unicorns, whatever. So the last thing was, they had the colored bowls and they had black. And I was like, well, that's cool. I'm like, it's a black enamel bowl, whatever. So I was like, all right, well, what can I do to that to jazz it up? I can't do what I did with the Mod Podge, because the point is, for the clear side, you can see through it. So I was like, all right, well, I mean, I'll get the bowl and then I'll think about it. So then I went home and I was like looking around at all my stuff. And obviously, you see, I have 2 kids. So I have glue for slime. So I was looking at it and I had bought like this really cheap dollar store glitter glue that did not work well for slime. So I had a bunch of it and I was like, all right, what the hell am I gonna do with it? And so I was looking around and I was like, ooh, let me try that. So I got out the glitter slime, the glitter glue, and that is the pink on there. If you can see the pink. So I did the pink first. So I put all the glue on, you know, again, use a brush. I mean, you can use your fingers if you want. It doesn't really make a difference, but if you do your fingers, you're going to get like more fingerprints in it, where if you use brushes, you can kind of make nice strokes. So anyway, so I put the purple glitter glue on it, and then I found this like bigger silver glitter, so I thought it looked like more like a galaxy. So basically, like I said, it's just a regular black bowl on the inside with some glitter on the outside. This I would definitely, because it's glitter, and I don't care what anybody says, like the top glitter, because again, it's not the glue glitter, I put it on top, is falling off. So I basically look like I'm a stripper right now because I have glitter all over me. But for this, like I would have, if I had more time, I would have given it to my husband and he would have sprayed like shellac or, you know, spray enamel on it, and that would have kept the glue, it would have kept everything on. So you wouldn't have to worry about glitter coming off. So this, again, you wouldn't be able to do just the glitter glue because it does come off. It's not as bad as the white glitter, because again, that I sprinkled on the glue. But yeah, this I would definitely like take and just put it on a piece of cardboard and just spray it around so that that you have adhesive on all sides to keep the glitter from coming off. I mean, unless you want to look like a stripper, then by all means rub it all over yourself and I go, crap, it's not my business. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I got today. At least for this I did. But So again, so $1, like at the basics, $1. You could spend just $1. You know, if you want to jazzy some stuff up, this was $1 plus $1 for the glue. If you wanted to do an extra glitter, so maybe another $1. And then you'd have to get like a can of spray enamel. But we're all crafters here, so I'm sure that either you have it or you can definitely use it for something else. So I definitely know we have cans downstairs, so I just didn't have time and it would never have dried for me to show it to you tonight. But like I said, like, you know, you could use all kinds of glitter. You know, maybe you get a purple bowl and do black glitter. You know, you could draw on it like they have those pens. Like, again, I could have done like stars with like gold and silver pens and like drawn on it and stuff like that. And then again, I would have had to cover it so that it wouldn't rub off just from being touched and things like that. So, but so then there, like I said, there's that. So you could spend $1, you could spend $5, you could spend $10. You know, I mean, it's all up to you. It's just, you know, how creative do you want to be? How pretty do you want it to look? You know, how much of it do you want to make it your own and something like, hey, I did this, you know, I'm proud of it, and, you know, and it has a whole bunch of functions. So, like I said, my first bowl was legitimately a bag. Like, I didn't even have, you know, a bowl, and then I had a friend make me some. But again, like the bowls I have wouldn't work for like bigger things like that Karen cake. I need something huge. So I actually have like a metal bowl that has like little legs and stuff. That's the one I got at the yard sale. But that's pretty much that. So I'm trying to get all the glitter. Oh, I'll be finding glitter for days. So there wasn't like an overwhelming response this week about like what people wanted me to bitch about, I would say. I know for a fact that somebody asked about patterns for like if you're gonna make a blanket, like how do you pick out your patterns? The first thing I would say is, like, again, you have to, there's like a different step process of that. Like I should say a multi-step process. Is first it's like, all right, who's it for? So like if you're making a baby blanket, most people are not comfortable with anything that is holy, nothing that the kids can get their fingers in, because they could get their fingers in, they could twist, they could cut off circulation. So yeah, a colander would work too, absolutely. So the ones that they had at my dollar store though, like had like little holes. But like you can go and buy a colander somewhere for like $2-3 at like Walmart. So again, a couple bucks, no big deal, and get ones that have more like, you know, bigger holes. So, you know, the ones that they had there would be no good for, probably sock yarn would have been like the most that you would have gotten through the ones that they had at my store. So, but like if you're doing for a baby, you want to find a very tight woven stitch. So something you really can't stick your fingers, like you can't just, their kids can't get their fingers in because they like to grab and they like to hold and things like that. So that would be like the first thing, would be like, all right, who's it for? So if it's for a baby, if it's for a toddler, if it's for an adult. So that's where you're going to start looking first. Do you want it tight knit? Do you want it a little airy? So, you know, after you decide who it's for and, you know, how you want it to look in a sense in your mind, then, you know, you can go and look at stitches, just like direct stitches, because, you know, flat stitching is easier for some things. You know, if you're looking at a needle knit pattern, that's a whole nother thing entirely. But, you know, you don't have to always look for a pattern per se. You know, you can literally just say, okay, maybe have an idea in your mind. It's like, and just feel free to like work on something. The worst thing in the world is that people have this idea that it's like, oh, they see this wonderful pattern and it's like, oh my God, it's so complicated. And they're already defeated at the gate. Sometimes it's just a matter of like simple stitches. Like garter stitch looks really nice. You know, a lot of people don't like it because it's time consuming more than a matter of what it looks like. So, and if you're new, garter stitch is a row of knit and a row of purl on the loom. You know, a lot of people start off and do all knit stitches, and then the only problem with knit stitches is it curls. Because you have to understand that when people needle knit, they're going back and forth, right side, wrong side. So it's pulling the fabric both ways. You know what I'm saying? When you're looming and everything is E-wrap, it's only pulling your yarn in one direction. So without a counterbalance of purls in there, your yarn is going to curl. So it's the same thing if you did all purls. So like it's not like just E-wrap. If you did all purls, it would curl because there's nothing to pull it back the other way. But you know, you don't have to, I mean, like I said, you don't have to have a pattern per se. You could, you know, see like a stitch pattern, if for lack of a better explanation, I guess, because some people say yes pattern, some people say no, it's just a stitch. So that's semantics in my opinion. You know, you could just look and then see something like that and say, oh, okay, you know, Luma Hat has tons of just stitches. Deborah Shaw has tons of just stitches. So you can look that way. You know what I'm saying? You could do like, you know, just like a mock crochet stitch for a blanket if it was for like somebody older. You know, you wouldn't use that necessarily for a baby. But like owl eye stitch, garter stitch, the hurdle stitch, those are like great for baby blankets and stuff like that because they're really tight woven and they can't, you know, babies, you know, really can't get their fingers through it the same way a Holy blanket would. What was the other thing? I know somebody had posted about their lazy husband. And I don't know how to answer that one because if I knew, I can't say that. I really can't. My husband actually, he can be lazy. He's one of those men that definitely can be a really hard worker and he does work hard at a lot of things. But he's always like, he has like a focus in mind. Like, you know, he's going to do these things and, you know, whatever. And it's like, I really want him or need him to do these things. And it's not that these things didn't need to get done, but my mindset is like certain things, it's kind of a matter of what's priority. So, but every so often he can be lazy, you know, and I basically just call him on it, you know. So, I mean, if your husband's lazy and it drives you mad and you're always fighting and things like that, you might want to consider divorce. Again, and speaking of lazy, I know that somebody posted about their daughter, who's really, really lazy, like doesn't want to work, and that thought that like tax returns are income. No, they're the income that the government already took from us, and that have to give us back because they took too much of our money. That there's the great learning system of the schools there, I guess. You know, it's like bring back home economics. Don't teach them, you know, algebra and trigonometry. Teach them how to do their taxes and how to do a billing statement and a banking statement and things like that. You know, which I think they should do a little bit of everything. You know, I don't think they should go as high as like trig and calculus. You know, because a lot of that math is very specific for certain jobs and for certain kinds of things. But basic life skills, you know, like, because again, like if you really want to think about it, like the original purpose of school was really about morality, was about teaching people how to behave, how to be able to sit still, to sit in a chair. You know, if you talk to some older teachers, you know what I'm saying, whether they have the mindset is not the point. They, like, most of them will admit that it's more about learning how to function in society, how, you know, how to wait in line, how to, you know, how to sit down, how to focus, how to, you know, there's a lot of those behavioral issues, you know, that we learn as we grow, that you learn in school. You know, yes, math, reading, arithmetic, you know, are very important and things like that, but, you know, the original school systems from, like, if we're talking from the get-go, you know, it's evolved. So, you know, if we're gonna, you know, we've gotten to a point where we've kind of gone too far one way and we're raising children, you know, it's like always that babies raising babies thing, and, you know, there's a lot of kids out there that are having kids and don't know how to raise kids because they're still kids themselves. You just have some people that just shouldn't be parents. Let's just be honest. And these kids aren't equipped from the home end. They don't, some of my son's friends are that way. Like, literally, I'm sure if they disappeared, it would take their parents days to even realize that they were gone, which is sad. But, okay, Linda. So you can always watch the replays. So if you can't be here while I'm live to interact, that's fine. You could always leave a comment and I'll always respond. So, but thanks for popping in. I'm hoping eventually like more and more people get on. I still offer if we get 20 people on at one time, I will definitely give away some free stuff. So that's a slight encouragement, but I know Thursdays at 8 o'clock for a lot of people, aren't on the East Coast, so it's a lot earlier for them, dinner time and things like that. So, I wish I could find a happy medium, but this seems to be the happiest of mediums. So Amanda has Sundays, so she'll be running her stuff and her information and her tutorials and live feeds on Sundays. So if you don't know who Amanda is, she's Hypnotic Hysteria. Right now I know she's doing her sock loom-alongs. So if you're interested in socks, if you're terrified of socks, if you're like, maybe I'll just pop in and see what it's about, she's definitely a great person to follow along with. She's very personable. She's very funny. And I know definitely that she makes it less fearful, especially for people that have tried socks and failed, or just look at them and say, that scares me. So, definitely, even if you even if you don't have an interest right now, maybe bookmark her YouTube. Again, Hypnotic Hysteria, bookmark her YouTube, and stuff like that. Debbie's also doing, for people who are fans of her Owl Eye Stitch, she is doing a house sock with Owl Eye Stitch. I think she just released a toe-up loom-along. So, again, you could check her out. That's Deborah Shaw. She's one of the admins here. What else? Yeah, people have been making some really nice stuff, and a lot of people have admitted that like they were afraid or they had tried and failed before, watching her and her taking her time and things like that. So, and she does take her time. It's not like a sped up video or things like that. Basically, she's doing like I'm doing now, and she's literally showing people how to do the socks, in a slow pace. So they are long. So, but they're long in a good way, so it's not like you feel like, oh, hey, somebody sped up the stitches. I literally want to follow along point to point to point to point, so you can feel like somebody's literally sitting there teaching you. So, okay, so the whole sock is up. I know I'm not, I watched some of the first one, and Sundays is a bad day for me because everybody's around on Sundays, so it's kind of like I don't have the time to sit there. This is kind of my night to be able to have to myself, which is what I give to you guys. So this is my time. So, oh, my throat was dry. But, what else? I can't recall anything else, and it's just, maybe there was nothing else, or, I'm just spacing on something, so. Oh, Deborah's is up. Okay, so Deborah's is the whole sock is up. Do you do looming on your lives? I can. No one has actually asked me to do anything. So like if somebody has something in particular they want me to give them an idea of and stuff like that. Do remember that I'm not a designer. So like if you have somebody else's stuff that you're interested in, I could ask, but I can't promise that. You know what I'm saying? Designers, may not be okay with somebody else doing their stuff or showing their stuff. So I can answer questions if I'm able to, like if you have a question in a moment, if we're talking here and be like, hey, I have a question. So I'm kind of I'm like the old radio shows where it's all right, maybe we start with something and then people call in and then we kind of run with it as we go. But I always do bring a project, but I wind up talking so damn much. And if you've ever seen my other lives, I have to look. So if I'm looking at what I'm doing, I can't read what you guys are writing to me. But I will show you this. So this is the thing I'm working on now. So this is Owl Eye. Done with, I think this is rated a 4, to be honest. I think I have the tag. Let me look. Yeah, so 4 medium. So this is a Big Karen cake, and it is cherry something. Cherry cake, it's called. So, that's okay. I answer, so if it wasn't for me, then just ignore me. So, but, you know, even if you weren't talking to me, maybe somebody does want to know, like, hey, you know, do you loom while you're doing this? I mean, like I said, I can do a more, like, if we want something specific, you know what I'm saying? I can make maybe a shorter video and just concentrate on something or things like that. But I did post this, and a lot of people were asking me about it. Now, again, like the blanket, hi, Deborah! Like the blanket, like this is a stitch or a stitch pattern per se, but it's not like, okay, she doesn't have point A to point B, triangle shawl to this. Well, I think Deborah does have a triangle shawl, but I don't know if it's an owl eye. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know that you definitely have the dragon one up, but yeah. So, but you know, like this, what I explained to people was basically I took Deborah's owl eye stitch. And I've done triangle shawls. I learned how to do the first triangle shawl from Loomahat. She has a video up where she does a triangle shawl on a 41 peg loom. So basically I'm applying techniques at that point, you know what I'm saying? So this is just that, and then I'm using that same idea around, you know? But, so what this is basically you start on peg 1, you do your stitches, and then you build peg by peg, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, you know, and it's funny because I mean, I've done these a million times, and I can't tell you how many times that I've done them, and I still freaking panic because it's like, oh my God, this is definitely not going to be big enough, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I still have all of these pegs to go. So it's still going to come all the way. And then again, you can go all the way. You can make a larger middle. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have to feel free to experiment. You have to feel free to, do swatches, which is so annoying. Usually I don't necessarily swatch, but I won't pull something apart. I'll just use it for something else. If it's too small, I'll give it to my kids. I'll give it to somebody else's kids, things like that. So, okay. So, yeah, I know you have lots of stuff on your channel, and I see, and every time you post something, I'm like, oh, I want to try that, but, like, I have too much control for my own damn good. Otherwise, I think half of my looms would have shit from Debbie on them. Be like, what are you making? And it's funny because it's funny how I keep track of stuff. So, like, this is the label from the cake, and I have a bag full of them, and I write on the cakes what I'm doing with it. So this is the triangle shawl and owl eye. So that, and I take pictures of what I do. So it's like, all right, I can go and either rent a picture or just recognize it and be like, okay, let me go and see what that was. You know, okay, that was an owl eye stitch or whatever. So my plan is actually, I don't have too many of them. My plan is to move them into a book and then, you know, just keep a better idea that I can just go back and forth. But for the interim at the moment, so like, you know, some people are like, oh, how do I keep track of certain things, you know, this, and all the information's here, the name of the company, the size, the name of the cake, you know, so everything is right here. So this is, and I just throw it back in my project bag. So it's always with me if somebody asks or whatever. So, hi, Nicole. But yeah, you know, again, if it's something, you know, that you guys want, I mean, basic stuff I can show, you know, I'd probably, you know, again, I can do it in a live so that we can have like a back and forth if you wanted to have questions on something specific, you know, because you watch a video, you could leave a comment, you know, sometimes people get back and sometimes people don't, things like that. I know, but there's so many people out there, so many designers that do so much basic information as well. I could just, I can send you somewhere. But again, I have no problem if somebody wants me to do something. That's why I put it up every week and ask the question. It's like, hey, what do you want to see? It is a knitting bitch, so I will talk about knitting stuff and I will talk about non-knitting stuff. So it's, and I absolutely will show things if that's what the case is. That's the whole point of this week was I put up there saying, hey, somebody started talking about yarn bowls. I have to say it slowly. And the prices of them and who would want one, but they're too expensive and things like that. So I thought, all right, let me do something, that everybody can do and most people have access to, or, some kind of store that's like a dollar store, like a Five and Below, or, things like that you could get something cheap, and it could still look nice, or it could just be functional. It just spends all you want, or you don't even have to leave your house. I'm sure you have, a bowl somewhere and some binder clips and you're good to go. So, what else? I don't know this week. Like I said, I'm like running on really no sleep. I've just been a lot of things going on. My husband had to have an ablation today, so he had to go down to the VA hospital. My sister, my sister and I have been dealing with some drama. Nothing too much. Just, her kid's not sleeping and things like that, and trying to like figure out why and getting to the root of the cause and things like that. So that's, it's kind of like two moms trying to bang their heads, and two moms that share the same blood. So it's like, all right, maybe there's something there that we can figure out, who doesn't sleep, why they don't sleep, like both of my sons had night terrors when they were babies. Like literally, if you've never had a child with night terrors, thank your lucky stars. 'Cause it can be terrible. So the hat behind me looks nice. The purple one, this one right here, the purple and gold. So the funny thing about this hat is it is the second hat I ever made. So first yarn I bought when I bought my looms, and this is the this is a K1 P1, so knit one, purl one, brim. Sorry, my brain is starting to seize. And it's the one I did where you fold it over. So basically you do it and then you put the bottom back on, so like you get this nice clean bend here, so it's thicker at the brim. And then this is E-wrap. The rest of the hat is E-wrap. So I'm just trying to spray it with my fingers. So, but the funny thing was, it fits now, but like when I first made it, it didn't fit. I actually have it on a man's mannequin head to keep it stretched out. So, but it's funny because I have pictures of my daughter wearing this hat. But yeah, so like that's another thing too. Like some things, like if it's super too small, there's like probably no way to deal with it. But like this one, it had enough give, so I basically stretched it out. But the first hat I made was this green and purple, like almost like Joker kind of colors, or like Mardi Gras kind of colors. I don't think it's in here. I think my daughter has it. But I made it, and it was a cute little like beret. Like I had done it in such a way that like it stopped right here, and try to like do it with this hat. So it kind of did like one of these, like almost like a beret kind of thing, and it was too small. I took it off the loom. I thought I was gonna cry. No, it's just regular E-wrap. This one. This is just E-wrap, and like I said, this is a K1 P1 brim folded over. So Yeah, and that's what I was trying to do with this one. And like I said, when I first made it, I was mad, and I didn't know anything about blocking or things like that. You know, those are things that you start to learn. You know, that's why I like when people were like they get upset right out the gate. It's like I feel so bad for them, and it's like I'm like we're like we understand, we were there, we promise. It gets better, it gets better, it gets better. It's just, you know, stick with it. So, yes, rib stitch. So. I just say K1, P1, so you know what I'm saying, because some people are like, you know, K2, P2 is technically a rib stitch too, so, you know, I try to be as direct and as clear as possible so people don't get confused, because sometimes I'm confused. I'm confused all the time. But anyway, let me see. This one too. This one I made, and again, I had to stretch it on a men's hat. So, this is the exact same stitching as this, except it's K1 Purl 2, and then it's E-wrap for the rest of the hat. I have a shawl that I made on the zippies to go along with this one. So, but this one, there's no give on this hat. So, but like when I first took it off the loom, I was not getting this on my head. So, yeah, you know, it's, and a lot of people get that way. Like, you know, they see these things and they see all these beautiful things, and I know I think it was last week that I said, you know, you have to work in stages. You have to, you know, you have to learn to crawl before you can walk, and before you run, you have to learn how to walk, you know, so you know the rules. And sometimes people bite off more than they can chew, or they're confused and they're not getting the right information. So, yeah, that happens too, you know. So, you know, you get very frustrated, you know. So, you know, and then some people just think like, it's easy, so I should get it, and then when they don't, it's frustrating, and there's nothing wrong with that, like any of that, you know what I'm saying, you know. But just like I tell my son all the time, like he'll get frustrated with something, and he'll be like, well, I'm just not gonna do it anymore, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna do that about everything, you're never gonna get anywhere, because if you don't learn the basics, if you don't learn, you know, there are people that have God-given talent, you know, and those are the people who are gonna be better than you at whatever. But then there are the people who learn and can even outbeat people with talent because they put all the time and effort in. You know what I'm saying? Like Scarlet Royale, she has a God-given talent, in my opinion. So I don't know her well enough to know if there's more backstory, but I've just seen the way that she makes things and the way her brain works and things like that. Like she just kind of like gets it. It's like poof. You know what I'm saying? But I know other people that can do what she does to you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't come as freely to them. It's not as easy to them. You know, or, you know, people who knit and then come loom, and it's like, well, I'm faster on my needles. Yes, but there are other things that you can do, you know, so. Oh, my dog, yes. You know, so, I mean, and everything's a learning curve, you know. My biggest thing is, like I said, you know, I don't like to swatch, but at the same time, like, I'll make things and I'm not disappointed in it. Like, I'm disappointed at when I made this at first, because, again, I didn't know anything about, you know, blocking and things like that, I was disappointed that I couldn't wear it. But I wasn't disappointed in my ability to have created something. So when I took that and I built upon it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's not simple answers either sometimes. Like, you know, when people come in and they're like, all right, what loom do I use for an adult hat? What do I use for this? And what do I use for that? All right, well, I used the 41 peg and it was too big. It's like, you have to learn to factor in that it's not a simple solution. You know what I'm saying? It's not a quick answer sometimes. It's like, you know, just like the blanket question. It's like, how do you pick out a pattern for blankets? It's not a simple question. There's layers to this question. So, you know, but anyway. But yeah, I have most of my stuff, like I said, Some of the stuff I'm proud of, you know, because I made it. It goes with something, you know, and some things I give away. You know, I have a daughter now, so you know she's always enjoying stealing stuff. You know, I've made her like 3 hats, and like the other day I was setting all this up, and she found some pretty pink yarn, and she was like, "Make me a hat." I'm like, "You already have 2 hats." "Yeah, but I don't have a pink one." I was like, "You have one with pink in it." She's like, "But it's not pink." And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm losing that argument." So, but you know, like this one here, this is a triangle shawl. What stitch did I do this one? I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it might have been figure 8. I think it's figure 8 stitch. But because I use such a small gauge and the yarn is actually thick, it may not seem like it, but it is. There's really no gaps in it. So, you know, sometimes the stitches can look different depending on how or what yarn you're using, what gauge you're using. You know, like this right here. Like if you look at some of the owl eye stuff, you know, depending on what yarn it is and stuff like that, it does create a little bit of a different pattern because there's more gap in the fabric. Color choice matters too, because some things look like, if you ever see something and it's like, oh, it looks really nice, and then you do it in a different color and it's like, I don't see the pattern, or it doesn't look as nice because, you know, some yarns, some colors show up better. So, oy. So, if anybody else has got any questions or anything that they want to ask or want me to go over, anything at all, so I will say that I will not stay on for an hour and a half tonight because I do need to go to sleep. So, and my husband is sick tonight, so there's nobody wrangling our children upstairs. So they're running around. So I do have to make sure that they get into bed, you know. And anybody who has kids knows that, you know, if you're not close enough, they'll take advantage. So, does anybody have any questions, anything at all? Doesn't matter what it is. So I'm up for anything for the next 5 or so minutes, and if nobody's got anything, then I guess I'll cut it short tonight, and then we'll go again next week. So I am trying to set up my YouTube channel. So once I get that figured out, because I'm having an issue, because I wanted to be able to go live on YouTube so that like people outside the group could see. So some of the other groups, you know, if they want to share, you know, any other admin wants to share the link on their page so that we can get more people incorporated. The format wouldn't change, but, you know, because I'm still a not safe for work kind of human. So, and I'm not, you know, I'm still going to leave it open for anything and everything. But again, I want to be able to get that up and running. So, and I want to post the replays on YouTube as well as Facebook. You know, I would leave the replays up on this group specifically, but then for other groups, if somebody wants to share something they saw on here, you know, things like that, you know, I can timestamp them and do all kinds of things, but we'll have to get to that point. But I know some other people just popped on. I'm kind of at the end here. Again, I will put the replay up. We went through all of the fun yarn balls. I don't know why I have such a problem with that word. But okay, no problem, Liz. I'm glad. Like I said, I had that totally in mind when I saw you, because I saw some other paper that was like gold and white, and then I saw the puppies, and I'm like, oh no, I have to get that. She'll love it. So, but maybe I'll mail it to you. So, but all right, you have a good night. Again, if anybody else has any questions, here's the format and the place to have them. If not, I am gonna go tonight. And we can pick up where we left off today next week. Like I said, I will, if people want me to start showing them some stuff, you know, as long as it's either stuff that I can show or I can get permission to show, you know, then by all means I have no issues. So, But give you guys a few seconds to see if anybody has anything. I feel like I should do the Jeopardy music. My husband does it like when we're playing games. He has it actually preloaded on his phone. So like if you're trying to like decide what to do or whatever, all of a sudden you'll hear the Jeopardy music. That, and he has the Price is Right, like wah 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 from the Price is Right. So like when you do something wrong or you do something bad, he plays that. So, all right, Deb. So, have sweet dreams. Get some rest. So, I want to go there too, but I can't go to bed till at least 10:30. So it's like, oh, I've got another 2 hours. I don't even know what time it is right now, but I'm sure it's close to 9 o'clock. But well, I appreciate everybody that comes on. So, I definitely want to do this more and be as transparent and as back and forth as I can with everybody, and hopefully we'll get more people to pop in and out, and because I would love to give away stuff. I have no issues with that. I've got plenty of stuff. I have stuff with the hope and the love of being able to give it away. So maybe if I have the YouTube channel, we can get some more eyes, and people can get some free stuff. So, but on that note, I guess everybody's got to go, and so do I. So I hope you guys enjoyed everything. Again, if you're watching, you're probably gonna have to back up and watch the replay to get all the fun and juicy stuff. And I know everybody's getting sick, and with the whole coronavirus, like I don't blame anybody for if you sneeze, I'm like, okay, you're good, stay. That's my husband had to go to the VA hospital, and he's afraid now because he came home and he doesn't feel good. I think but I have the little ones, kindergarten and pre-K, so it's like petri dishes. So it's I'm terrified that they're gonna come home sick. So please go lay down, go take care of yourself. So, but yep. On that note, I am gonna go. So I will see you guys next week, and if you have any questions, just leave them, and I will come back and I will answer them. Okay. Talk to everybody later. Bye.